Hi friends and my dear students. Some of you had asked why this HCQ hydroxychloroquine is being used for the treatment of COVID-19. This SARS coronavirus 2 is a new virus, so the antiviral made against this virus like favipiravir and remdesivir are under clinical trial. So many experiments have been carried out in different countries, and based on those researches, data suggests that CQ and HCQ inhibits attachment and entry of SARS coronavirus to the host cell. These two drugs are basically anti-malarial drugs and also used in the treatment of lupus and rheumatoid arthritis. FDA approved these two drugs for the treatment of COVID-19 pandemic. HCQ inhibit glycosylation of ACE2 receptor. In my previous video, I told you that these ACE2 receptor are present in the pneumocyte 2 of the alveoli of the lungs. In alveoli, there are two types of pneumocytes are present, pneumocyte 1 and pneumocyte 2. Pneumocyte 1 maintains the gaseous exchange, whereas pneumocyte 2 produces surfactants, which thereby reduces surface tension of pulmonary fluids and also maintains the elasticity of the lungs. So, it inhibits glycosylation of ACE2 receptor, thereby it inhibits the attachment of SARS coronavirus to the host cell. Further, this HCQ inhibits biosynthesis of sialic acid. This sialic acid is an acidic monosaccharide which helps in ligand recognition. Virus uses it as a receptor to get inside the host cell. So, by inhibiting synthesis of sialic acid, entry of virus is restricted to the host cell. The CQ and HCQ both are weak base. They changes the pH, which is acidic, inside the endolysosome. To understand this, you have to understand the application strategy of the virus. First, there is attachment of virus to the host cell. S protein which are present over the envelope of virus get attaches with the ACE2 receptor which are present in the pneumocyte of the alveoli. After attachment, there is receptor mediated endocytosis and virus is engulfed inside the endosome. Then there will be fusion of endosome and lysosome. Lysosome contains proteases, and these proteases in the acidic environment activate S protein, thereby uncoat the envelope of the virus, releasing the viral genome into the host cytoplasm. After that, there is early transcription, translation and replication. By using host cell machinery, by using host ribosome, RNA dependent RNA polymerase protein is translated, and after that viral genome is formed. In late transcription and late translation, there is formation of late protein which are structural protein, which are basically capsid protein. So capsid is formed, and in this capsid newly formed viral genome is assembled, and after maturation these viruses are released through the process of budding, because this SARS coronavirus 2 is enveloped virus, so it released through the process of budding. So this newly formed virions infects further neighboring cells. So what happens when this HCQ changes the pH of endosome, lysosome, then the proteases could not be able to activate S protein. So due to this, RNA genome will not be able to come inside the cytoplasm, so no new viral RNA is produced. In spite of these three factors, another factor is anti-inflammatory. This HCQA have anti-inflammatory action, because in this COVID-19 disease there is release of so many inflammatory cytokines like interleukin 6, interleukin 4, tumor necrosis factor alpha, etc. This is having an anti-inflammatory action also. So it inhibits the production of pro-inflammatory marker as well as cytokines. So what do you think? What should one do? Should we start taking HCQ for the prevention of COVID-19? Absolutely not at all, because this is a potent hypoglycemic agent, and also these drugs are contraindicated in so many disease conditions like hypersensitivity, porphyria, retinopathy, epilepsy, myocardial infarction. So one should not take these drugs without doctor's prescription. So that was all about today's video. I hope you will like the video. Thank you.